Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dallas again with Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another fragrance review. This one is going to be on Salvatore Ferragamo F Black. I wasn't totally sure about this fragrance when I first smelled it. I've heard a lot of good things about it online. People saying it smells like Nuit de l'Homme, which I'll get to in a second. But I've heard some good things, heard some bad things. So I will tell you my thoughts on this fragrance. So the first thing you'll notice when you spray this fragrance is it is very, very strong. All right. It's strong on the pepper note, strong on the lavender note, has some tonka bean. This is a very, very masculine fragrance. This is by no means a teenager smelling fragrance, just kind of a metrosexual smelling fragrance. This thing is very, very masculine, all right? When I first smelled it, I wasn't too sure, mostly because of the lavender. It kind of has this very mature vibe. I don't want to say old man vibe. Obviously, lavender typically is kind of a more mature smelling note, but this by no means smells like an old man. It just has this kind of very mature, masculine vibe to it that I personally wasn't sure I was a fan of because, as you guys know, I am a fan of fresh fragrances, lighter fragrances. I wasn't too sure about in the beginning, but the more I smelled it and the more I wore it on myself, the more I really started to appreciate this stuff. And it actually is pretty good, especially for the price. This is a pretty cheaper fragrance. I think around $20 for this bottle size. Definitely a good buy. So if you look on FragranceNet, you will see that people compare it to Nuit de l'Homme. People say it smells like it. I don't get that at all. It is somewhat powdery, similar to Nuit de l'Homme, because of the tonka bean. It is kind of powdery, but the pepper, the lavender, it kind of overpowers that, and it gives us this really sharp masculine edge to it. Whereas Nuit de l'Homme, it's powdery, but it isn't kind of as strong and in your face. Obviously this is a date fragrance, an evening fragrance, and this is not a date fragrance by any means. So I don't really see where people are getting that comparison from. Yes, it's powdery somewhat, but it really doesn't smell like this. So just to clear that up. The performance of this fragrance is actually really, really good. I was surprised because I wasn't sure what I was getting. I didn't know if I was going to be getting a reformulated version of this, especially for the price. Again, I wasn't sure. But this actually lasts a good solid about 7 hours. I wore this the other day, projected really well, at least for the majority of the time it was on my skin, and then it just kind of died out all at once. So I'd say projection is at least 5-6 hours. Longevity is about 7, which to me is really solid. That's about all I look for in a fragrance, just something to get me through the day. And this one definitely did that. Really impressed with this one. This is a very masculine fragrance. This is something that closer environments like school, like work, you don't want to go too heavy on the trigger with this because, again, this is a sharp fragrance. You don't want to be too overbearing with it. As far as times of the year goes, this is definitely fall and winter only. This isn't really anything for the warmer months at all. It's just too strong for that, too sweet for that. So definitely keep this for the colder months. This should be really, really good in the winter because that cold air is going to kind of tame that peppery vibe with it, and it should help it develop really well. I'm definitely looking forward to wearing this, in the winter when it's really, really cold. And because of the performance, I don't think it should have an issue. As far as compliments goes, this did give me some compliments. This isn't some beast mode top 10 most complimented fragrances, or, it could be on the top 10, but it's not up at the top, at least for me. This is nice. Girls that like masculine smelling guys will like this fragrance. It's just not something that's going to get me the most compliments, probably because I won't be wearing it as much. It's not one of my favorites, and obviously for it to get me a lot of compliments, I would have to wear it a lot, right? So definitely will get you compliments if you're the type of guy that can pull this off and you're going to wear it a lot. You'll definitely be set. But for me, probably isn't going to be one of my most complimented fragrances. As far as versatility for this one goes, it's pretty good. Again, school, work, go light on the trigger, but any sort of, outdoor wintry events, like if you're going to cut down a Christmas tree or something like that and you want to smell like a masculine man, this would be good for that for sure. You could go a little bit heavier on the trigger, but other than that, as far as sprays go, at school, at work, 1 to 2, that's all you really need. And any sort of other events like that, you can go a little bit more, but just kind of be easy with this one because it is very strong. I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. Like I said, this fragrance has grown on me, so if you do end up buying this and you're not really sure, just give it a chance. At least wear it a couple times. Maybe it'll start to grow on you. I know it has for me, so Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like the video. Please be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment telling me what you think about this fragrance and what other fragrances you want me to review. and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.